Shalom, shalom, all praise to the Most High, man. All praise to the Most High. Giving glory and honor to the Father up above, man, for another day, another opportunity, man, to be amongst the land of the living, but also to do better than what I did yesterday, man. It's a beautiful, sunny day, even though it's cold. Just got finished walking the dog. Get ready, got training that I'm about to go to today and tomorrow. But as I was sitting, man, and just spending time with the Father, He just put on my heart, man. It's a reason for the circumcision, right? Circumcision is the exposure. I figure the more I try to live to impress man, the less I'm going to live to do the will of the Most High. Abba Yah. And because I want to hear those words, well done, my faithful servant, I can't sit up here and try to oppress men. Why? Because at the end of the day, it's nothing you can do that's going to oppress men, women, whatever you want to consider, humans. Nothing you can do that's going to impress individuals. At the end of the day, we live to be a bright light. And whatever Allah has installed in you for you to be that bright light, that is what you need to be seeking out and trying to understand the purpose behind the intent of why you're here. Not trying to get the glam, not trying to get the fame, not trying to get the recognition. But I get it. Because when you're in the flesh and when you're in this world, that's all you're striving to do. When you're in school, that's what they teaching you. They teaching you submission. They indoctrinating you to become a steward over their information in the way that they want you to interact. It's about being popular. And if you're not popular, you see how the system treats you. Like I said, I remember being a class clown and I ended up being put in special ed. Now, I wasn't the most intelligent individual by any means, but I surely wasn't the dumbest. Now, I had behavior issues, and I see how they would lump those who had actual learning disabilities in with those who had behavior issues. And I seen this as I got older and I was put into rehab. How they sat there and they put those who had disabilities with behavior issues in the same unit. So you might have somebody who had, again, just behavior issues. They didn't want to listen. They wanted to do their own thing. In the same unit with somebody who was really mentally challenged, who can't comprehend, who don't have the ability to understand, and you lump them all together. Well, now in society, if you're not a part of a certain party, so of course, you got Democrat and you got Republican. They call in the Democrats the radical left or right. I don't know which side of the party, but they're calling them something, right? So you might be an individual who don't care for politics at all. But because you're not a part of the party that's in power right now, they're going to lump you in with the party that they call the radical. And this is how the world identifies, tags, and label. Either you with it or you ain't with it. It was a movie I used to watch growing up, State Property. Hence, listen to the name, state property, right? But in the movie, his favorite line when he ran down on somebody was either get down or lay down. Meaning you either get with the program or you get eradicated from the program. So it's like if I'm not doing what the societal norm deems that I should be doing, then I'm automatic getting exiled, persecuted for wanting to be different. Which is so crazy because, like I said, coming up, we were expressed, especially my generation, to be different. And now, even when you look at this generation, with everybody wants to be pronoun, this called that, want to be everything other than what they were created to be. They want to be different. But that movement right there, which was the change movement, was set in place to see how many people would take the bait. So that way the system can be able to identify those who are getting down versus those who need to be laid down. So again, I'm not trying to be here long-winded with this, man, but I just had to come and drop this because it was in my spirit, man. At the end of the day, when I look at scriptures and I look at the disciples and I look at those who follow Yahushua, they had to go through a lot of hate. They had to go through a lot of rejection. They had to go through a lot of persecution. I mean, looking even with Adam and Eve, even though they committed that sin, they still found a place to repent, to turn away from the things that they did that was wicked in the eyesight of the Most High. But look at their children. Because of their sin, it brought in wickedness amongst their children, starting with Cain and Abel. Then you go down the lineage and down the line and you see it's a separation between those who are righteous and those who are wicked. Enoch, being one who walked close with Yah, all the way until Yah took him up. Think about what he had to endure and go through. At times he would be unto the people to give the word which Yah had put in him to give. But after that, you will see he would go off by himself and spend time with the Father. And I look at that to say, how do you grow in the spirit if you constantly feeding yourself the things of this world in the flesh? Yes, it can be overwhelming, but I feel like it's overwhelming either way you look at it. Too much of anything could destroy you. But like Abba said, it's an abomination to be unbalanced. The unbalanced weight is an abomination to the Most High. So yeah, you got to be able to get what the Father gives to you and give it out. Don't obese yourself in spending too much time with the Father that you don't do the work and don't do the will. Yes, you build your spirit up, you prepare yourself, and wherever the Abba has you go, you go. But make sure that you're going with the spirit in mind of the Ruach and not the spirit of this world. Because that been a fight since the beginning of the time. The flesh and the spirit. The flesh knows what it wants. And the spirit knows what it wants. But the one in between, which is the soul, which is you, you don't quite know what you want. And as an individual who been on both sides of the spectrum, I've done the things of the flesh, I've been in the world, I've poured, I've done things that I'm not proud of. And to come on this side of the spectrum, of the petrolum, and be unto the Father. And even then, still done things I'm not proud of. Not by no means saying I'm perfect, but I find a certain peace, a certain joy, as he say, the world can't give me. So to be in his presence alone is amazing. That I don't even want to leave. They say he lied me down in green pastures. In his presence is where I found those green pastures. And this is why I understand why Yahushua went off, why Enoch went off, why Elijah went off, even David. Why men of Yah and women take that time and they spend unto the Lord. Because to be in the presence of the Lord is just something that the flesh can't comprehend. But when you're not a busybody, and like I said, I was a busybody when I was in the flesh, when I was in the world. I couldn't stay still, had to keep moving. I always feel like I had to do something. But as I came into myself and came into the peace and understanding, man, to be in the presence of the Lord, man, I really cherish my peace and my time with the Father. That sometimes I get so caught up in it that I don't want to leave out his presence. But things still need to be done and business still need to be taken care of. So at the end of the day, I gotta still do what needs to be done. So only thing I'm gonna drop is just saying, stop trying to please the world. Expose yourself. See, as I realize I'm flawed. I'm gonna always be flawed as long as I'm in this flesh. So me trying to walk around like I got it all together or my demeanor to be cool, no. Even Yahushua said, if your enemy accuses you and say wicked things about you, you come into agreement with them. Yeah, I'm all those. Whatever you say that I am, that's what I am. Ain't no need for me to fight back. Ain't no need for me to get puffed up and get all prideful. Like I say, all those things is the things of the flesh, and this is what the enemy want. This is what those demonic spirits want. They want to feed off your spirit. So when you respond and they see they can get that response out of you, they're gonna keep going. So you gotta be able to have patience, but you also gotta be able to have discernment to realize love covers a multitude of sin, even within yourself. Because that's what we got to start at. Stop trying to prove stuff to ourselves. We got to be able to forgive ourselves for the things we've done. Because that's what the enemy lives in. He lives in shame, he lives in doubt, and he lives in regret. The Abba already know we not perfect. That's why he gave us his only begotten son. This is why he gave us the Ruach HaKodesh. But even though we're not perfect, he still expects us to learn from our mistakes. And like I said, when I go back to the beginning, when I was in school in special ed, one thing they didn't put an emphasis on was learning from your mistakes. Because I remember not too long ago, that's when they had that whole No Child Left Behind Act, which was just basically wherever the child is, let them go ahead and pass. How do you learn from that? You know, that was the reason why they held you back. They held you back because they figured you didn't get it. And there's no need to move you forward until you got it. Some people, buckle down and they put in the initiative to get it. some people just, they don't get it. They don't want to get it. So like I said, just looking at that, and I look at life now, it's really no alteration. There's really no difference. I see even adults now who were once children. They didn't get it then as children, and now as adults, they still don't get it. Anytime you still trying to rock out and live the way youngins living, and you older than them, that, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying we shouldn't be able to gel together and be able to communicate and have a common bond, but you supposed to be learning from me, not the other way around. Now, take that back. We can learn from each other, but in retrospect, because I've been here, the experiences that I have should be able to guide you and teach you. But that's not always the case. So, like I said, man, live to please the Most High Yah. Expose yourself to yourself for who you truly are. And stop trying to be who you're not. Because the demons live in the dark. And the demons love fake. And they love things that is not authentic. So with that being said, shalom. Y'all enjoy y'all day. If it's cold where you at, stay warm. If it's warm where you at, stay cool. And spend time with the Father. Shalom. Oh, and y'all see the merch, right, man? Y'all see the merch. It's got the Holy Smokes hoodies in. Hope y'all rocking with it. Of course, y'all already know about the manifests. I got some beanies on there. Shit. Got the beanie on there too. Put them in any color. But like I said, man, I thank the Father for the opportunity, man, to just come and be a vessel. Praying that these words, man, touch somebody and touch whoever they need to touch. Shalom.